Things that used to be difficult after the injury are not so difficult now. And it really just made a difference in my life and the overall quality of my life. In 2017, I had a traumatic brain injury. Um, Coming out of that injury, I had a lot of difficulties being able to focus and being able to do some of the daily tasks. One in particular was being able to drive. So anything that involved a lot of multitasking was very, very difficult. So several years went by. My doctors kept saying, give it time. It'll get better as time goes along. And then after about 5 years, I realized that it was not getting any better and it wasn't going to get better unless I did something different. So a friend of ours, Dr. Jackson, who is associated with the LearningRx in Fort Smith, actually sees my son as a doctor, and she knew about my traumatic brain injury, and she actually recommended LearningRx that it might actually help me with my focus and my memory. I set up an appointment to basically go get initial testing and to look at the facility and learn more about what LearningRx was about and what the opportunities were for this program to help me. So I did the testing, and the testing came back that I was really weak in multitasking, which was something that I kind of knew based on the struggles that I was having in my daily life. From there, they started showing me some data around how much they have been able to help other people that had had traumatic brain injuries. But also what really impressed me was the fact that when they go back and they test again after a year, that the retention rate for what they had learned and the progress they had made, they were able to maintain that improvement. The brain trainer that I had, his name was Todd. He was very, very good. He understood going in not only the material that he was teaching me, but he also got to know me very well. So he was able to push me in areas that I needed to be pushed. And he knew when to kind of back up and give me a little bit of space. But he also allowed me the flexibility to focus on some of the things that I like to work on and that I knew that I really needed help with, so we could focus in certain areas. So things like that is things that are, to the metrodome, to a beat, and being able to identify the arrows moving in different directions and the colors of the arrows, doing multiple combinations of those type of things forced me to multitask, which really improved my cognitive ability and my abilities to be able to do the multitasking. So for me, really one of the big things was that I knew that once I had had the traumatic brain injury, that things were different, right? So I was going into a situation where I knew how I used to be and I knew how I was now. And I knew that there was a gap there. And that was really, really hard for me. It's almost akin to, losing a finger or losing an arm, if you will. You knew you had lost part of who you were. So LearningRx, after going through the program, I probably got 90 to 95% of that back, which has just been an absolute relief to me. I would recommend LearningRx. At the bare minimum, go check out LearningRx, do your own research, do your own data mining, and I think you will be pleasantly surprised with what you find. It is an investment of money, it's an investment of your time, but it is definitely worth that investment. If somebody was on the fence around whether or not they wanted to do this, especially if it's somebody that's had a traumatic brain injury, from one person to another, I can definitely tell you that it does make a difference in your life, and that there is hope, if you will, to make an improvement in your life. Dr. Jackson and her husband Justin and Todd, they do an outstanding job, not only working with you, with your personal lives, and I'm working full time, working around my schedule. But they also, they're great brain trainers, but they also are very good motivators, and they actually care about people and they care about what they're doing, and they want to see people improve. So their goals are going to be the same as your goals. It really is about helping other people, because I kind of was in that bad place, right? And this helped me get out of it, and I hope other people do that as well.